Winston Churchill once said that dogs will look up to us, cats will look down upon us, and pigs will treat us about equal. Mr. Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, this story has a pig in it, it has a cat in it, and it has a dog, and maybe if I have enough time, I'll bring a lizard into it. Now, all humans and superheroes have an Achilles heel. Superman had kryptonite. Joos van der Westhuizen, Heat magazine. My weakness is animals. I remember when George Orwell once said, in Animal Farm, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Well, in my case, all my animals are communists. Because they all hate me equally. They just can't handle me. Now, I don't know what it is, but when I go near an animal, it goes ballistic. I've been attacked by a dog. I've got 15 stitches here. I've been hunted down by feral dogs in Hout Bay in a township. Don't ask. A budgie has bitten me. I've even been attacked by a rabbit on a hike. The bottom line is, I think that animals think I'm possessed. So you know in the movies when they see someone possessed, they go all throw a thrombi. Sometimes I feel like Damien in The Omen. But I went to church the other day and I never threw up, so I'm probably not possessed. Now you may be wondering, or you may not know this, but I'm single, and you know, I mean, look at this. Single? I feel beautiful. But the reason I'm single, because most of the women I try and date have animals, pets. And you know what happens with pets? So I take this one girl, we go for a lovely meal, and she invites me in for coffee. She says to me, you know, I don't normally do this on a first date. Very smiling. But I would like to invite you, I would like to introduce you to my pussycat. And I said, that's absolutely wonderful. Her name is Chastity. Oh! Ouch! She then bends down and picks up this furry generator. Now let me tell you something. That cat did not look chaste. In fact, it looked like a Mongolian mattress thrasher, a close family of the shrike. And in fact, if you stuck some lipstick on it, put a ciggy in its mouth, put a miniskirt on it, and put some Bollinger champagne in its sexy paw, it would look like Joanna Lumley, absolutely fabulous, waiting for sailors to come off a ship. So the cat goes, throws the thrommy, looks like Tom Cruise in an interview with a vampire, teeth and short. Runs away, she says, my pussy doesn't like you, my pussy doesn't like you. Where you puss puss, where you puss puss, you must go. So I leave. But you know what, that turned out just right, because 2 weeks later, I met the girl of my dreams, and we had a long relationship. It lasted 3 weeks. Why? Because the silly girl went and bought a budgie. Now I went down to my dad, who lived in Nepal, on a farm in Nepal, and it was late at night. I've been traveling quite a bit. So he says to me, well, just take Belinda's bed. So I said, oh, cool. And if any of you know my father, he's quite a rake with a woman, so I thought, you know, it's just one of his females. I said, but won't she mind me sleeping in her bed? He said, no, she normally sleeps with me. So I said, okay, that's fine. Anyway, I get into the bed, I sleep, beautiful sleep. The next morning, I wake up in excruciating pain. I have flea bites all over my body. Belinda is the farm beagle. And someone once said, if you lie down with dogs, you'll get fleas. Well, this really came true for me. So now I'm itching all over, so I put chamomile lotion all over myself. You know, it's supposed to stop itching. Let me tell you something. It doesn't work. In fact, all that happened was I looked like a Xhosa boy before his ceremonies, waiting for that rusty knife to come and cut me into manhood. Anyway, the next day I washed off this chamomile lotion. I thought, okay, well, it should be okay. I should look cool. Now, I was going to Cape Town with some friends of mine. We were there for a month, and we were going to Tomcat because the women in Joburg all had animals, and they just hated me. So I thought maybe Cape Town would be a better hunting ground. I look in the mirror, and I'm telling you now, I look like a yak on heat. There's also a yak in the story. Pimples and pus and everything coming out. There's no way any female in her right mind would look at me. But you know what? That wrong turn worked out just well for me as well. Because I spent that whole month with my father. And we weren't to know that this would be the last time I'd see him alive. And that wrong turn worked out really well for me. And then when I was in the army, I was behind enemy lines. No, not Boksburg. And we were going to this kraal, because we had intelligence that the enemy was waiting for us in the kraal. Well, there was some activity, so we were walking around. And about 20 meters before the kraal, I hear this ungodly sound. Wow! Wow! So I go like this. Now in the movies, it looks good. But what it actually means is, hey, find out the nearest bar and bring me a cocktail. Okay. And this pig charges at me. It's not a baby pig, it's something like a hillbilly pig mixed with a hippo. And it's got scrap of teeth. And I'm terrified of pigs. Because our RSM, Regimental Sergeant Major, was bitten by a pig. And he went totally bald everywhere. I know this because I was in the shower. And I wish I was one of the lizards. I promised a lizard. I wish I was one of the lizards with self-cleaning out. Get that out of my system. You know when you walk into your mom's and dad's room on a Sunday? And they're playing Scrabble. I wish you were one of those. But you know what? All these wrong turns I've taken in my life have worked out just well for me. Because you know what? I found the girl of my dreams, albeit for a very short time. I hung out with my dad and spent good time with him. So you know what? If life takes you to a wrong turn, it might just be the right turn for you. Mr. Contest.